Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening and watching. My name is Nefertiti, and you can find my information in the description box below. This is kind of a quick energy update. There's going to be some channeled messages in here. If you read my community post yesterday, you know that I've been having a really difficult time with these energies. Lots of anxiety, lots of insomnia again. It's so strange though, because I'm not tired during the day. So I keep going, even though I know at some point it's going to catch up. My son's not sleeping again. So it got me to really thinking, like, I've been praying about this. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I missing? And Spirit told me very clearly, instead of praying for situations to change, you need to pray for endurance. Pray that you have the strength to get through what you're going through. And we know that that is a perspective, right? But we always forget about that. We're so focused on just getting back to being comfortable, getting back to the way things were. And we all know that life as we know it has changed forever, personally and collectively. And Spirit says that this is only the beginning. So we have to really learn how to confront our pain, to allow the emotional release to happen so that new energy can flow in, so that we can heal, so that we can ascend. And I feel like a lot of people are resisting this, even though we are seeing these mass awakenings collectively. When people join together, you know, they're able to feed off of each other's energy and have more power. But when people go home and they're by themselves in the dark, they're having to confront their demons. And a lot of people may not be as experienced as some of us are when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to understanding the duality of this world and how everything has a purpose and that everything happens for us and not to us. So the universe is really testing us, giving us what I call spiritual ass whoopings, right? Spirit is everywhere. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. And like I mentioned, these energies, according to Spirit, are not going to let up anytime soon. We just have to be ready. We have to prepare ourselves every single day with self-love, with being willing to do the work, practicing good nutrition, resting on purpose, and also knowing that all we have is the present moment. That's it. I know I've been experiencing emotional upheaval on a scale that I have not experienced before. As far as I can tell, it's just been constant triggers for the past 2 or 3 days. And I've been through some things in my life. I've been divorced. I've had people die suddenly. You know, the things that just happen in life, the tragedies. And I've had crying, and of course, you're grieving. But this emotional release that I've been going through over the past couple of days has felt very, very cathartic. Very old energies coming up for release. And it's like once I start crying, I can't stop. I mean, I think I cried yesterday for 2 solid hours, and my son was just looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I can't stop crying." So I'm learning to kind of go with the flow and accept it and just allow that, because I'm finding that when I'm resisting it, it's really debilitating for me as far as trying to get my work done, do my workouts, and just do the things that I need to do on a daily basis. So I have to allow time for this spontaneous emotional release. And I've been very resistant to it, I'll admit it, just because I have so much to do. And it's just when you're so driven and you've had to be so strong for so long, that's what you're accustomed to. Some of us know what I'm talking about, where you've had to be strong. You didn't have a choice. You didn't have anybody to help you. You didn't have anybody in your corner. You didn't have support. So you had to be strong. So I'm surrendering and allowing this release. My appetite's been very weird. I've been very scatterbrained at times, and that's when I know, okay, I need to just take a pause. Now, let's get into the twin flame information that I've been receiving. One of the things we need to remember about the twin flame journey is that we can only come into physical union when a certain level of healing has been achieved by both parties. And the healing that is done has to be done via free will. We can't force anybody to change. We can't even do things spiritually behind the scenes to help our twin move forward. That's a violation of their free will. And that just creates more resistance. So all we can do is heal ourselves and focus on what we need to do to move ourselves further along on this journey. And like I mentioned, we all have a choice. We can choose to move forward or stay stuck in the pain and fear. The universe totally supports us in every thought we choose to think and believe. One other thing that was channeled to me was that not all twins will come together. A lot of twin flames are coming together right now, but some are just meant to interact so that they can trigger each other for healing. It could take lifetimes for you to reunite with your twin, again, depending on everyone's willingness and capacity to heal. And healing is scary. You have to go into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself, and that requires bravery and courage and perseverance. So you've got to be ready to do that. And sometimes the universe intercedes, right? Divine intervention, because things have to happen according to a divine plan. So you can see that there's levels to this. If you are being cosmically pushed, it's best to go with the flow. When there are challenges on the twin flame journey, remember that it's all about healing and ascension, but it's also about cultivating that unconditional love. It reminds me of that song, I Hate That I Love You. I think that, is it Neo? But we've all felt like that. If you're on the twin flame journey, it's like you get to a point sometimes where you're like, you know what? I don't even want this connection anymore. I don't want any part of this. I just want to be free from this energy. See, this is why I'm recording this over voiceover, because I just don't want to get choked up and be a mess on camera. But yeah, wishing that you could be free from the union, wishing that you could just focus because you're tired of the pain. And another side note too, the divine masculine, naturally, they're more connected to the physical reality, the physical domain, which automatically connects them to lower levels of frequency, more so than the divine feminine. It's almost, natural for the divine masculine to inflict pain on the divine feminine to begin that trigger. And remember that twin flames mirror one another. So if the divine masculine is inflicting pain, it's only going to be reflected back to him. But he might not be aware of that, just because naturally speaking, divine feminines are more connected to the emotional body, which allows them to ascend a lot faster. Now, when I say divine masculine, divine feminine, I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm not talking about sexual preference. These are energies. So you know which category you fall in by now, I'm sure. So remember, when your twin heals, that you're also healing. So this is where it gets challenging, because if you're doing healing work and the divine masculine isn't, or this could be vice versa, they could be experiencing upheaval in their life and they could have no idea why it's going on. They may not even be open to this kind of information. So that's where it gets really challenging. And if you are a divine masculine experiencing some upheaval, you might want to examine this, especially if you don't know why things are chaotic. A lot of it has to do with the energy right now. We're in eclipse season. We have 6 retrograde planets. But remember that there are levels to this. We are multidimensional beings. And when the divine masculine inflicts that pain on the divine feminine, it's not always intentional. Sometimes it is. But again, it's a part of the divine plan for healing. Healing can only happen when the wounds are triggered so that we can look at them. And even if twins don't come together, the push-pull will continue, even if you're not aware of it. And that's where this journey sucks, as far as I'm concerned. But we need to accept the beauty and the chaos that is the twin flame journey. And most importantly, focus on our individual healing. Always focus on us, because we can't control what anybody else does. A part of the twin flame journey is learning how to be self-actualized. And I talk about this a lot. And obviously, it's something I still struggle with. But let's continue to allow this release and this purging, because the universe says that we light workers need to level up. We have to heal. It's time for us to heal. And yes, we could do it at our own pace. There's never a rush, but we have to be consistently focused on healing. That needs to be our path. Healing, ascension, so that we can hold the light, so that we can create this 5D earth, because that's why we are here. So a lot of us are feeling that cosmic push. The universe is not letting up. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Oftentimes when we're in a lot of emotional chaos and upheaval, we don't even have the words sometimes to pray and ask for help. All we can say is, help me, help me. But this has kind of been my go-to for the past couple of days, and it's really been helpful as I'm moving through this massive emotional release. And I'm feeling better and better every time I have an episode, if that's what you want to call them. And I wanted to definitely make this video because I know some of you are going through the same thing. This journey can be very lonely, especially if a lot of people around you are not where you are, like energetically, and with the spiritual understanding, you don't even have anybody to talk to about this. And I'm grateful that there's support groups online and, videos and things that we can watch. But there's nothing like being able to just talk to another human being face to face about what you're going through and have them understand. And I know that can be difficult on this journey because a lot of it requires us to be in solitude. So be gentle with yourself at this time. Take it easy. Slow down when the universe tells you to slow down. There's no sense in even resisting it. So thank you so much for listening and watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to speaking to you again really soon. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.